get ready with me as I get ready to go out with some new friends tonight. And I have not been shy on this app about how I'm a little bit scared to like make new friends because of just all of the friendship drama that I went through the last year. And I think so many people can relate to this because 2025 was a year of shedding. It was the year of the snake. And so many of us woke up to like patterns that we were like continuously entertaining, and belief systems that no longer worked for us and jobs that no longer worked for us. Like, so many of us woke up to these things. And what does that mean? It means that comes with loss, because you're going to lose things that no longer work for you if you're living a fully authentic and honest life. And I think a lot of us in 2025 just got to the point where we literally couldn't do it anymore. Like, all of the old systems and like the things that didn't resonate with our soul or like insulted our soul, we could no longer deal with them. We can no longer just pretend and just stay in them. We left them. And as a result, we had a lot of loss. And so I lost a lot of things. I mean, I gained so much, and I think everyone can relate with that. Like, in the loss, we gained so much, right? Like, I gained the love of my life. I gained an amazing career. I gained just so many wonderful things, a community. And I think that we have to recognize too that like the year of the snake is still happening through February. So we're still losing things. And I can even say that that's true. Like, me going back to church, I've been talking a lot about how I'm going back to Mormon church. To me, that feels like a huge shedding, because I'm shedding the old identity that felt like I had to be mad at the church, or, I had to be out of it forever. And I've like embraced now this archetype of my personality that like craves connection and craves a tribe and craves community. And I had to like humble myself. I had to like lose and shed ego, and I had to shed fear around going back, and I had to shed like so many things in order to step into this archetype. Oh, that's really cute. Hi. What would I do without Q-tips? Like, I live and die by Q-tips. But so yeah, I had to like shed a lot of things to like step into this archetype of going back to church and like humbling myself and making it happen, where I was like, let's just do it. I had the inkling that I needed to do it, and I acted on it. And like, I'm proud of myself for that, but like, it doesn't mean that I'm not scared like all the time. And I made a video before about just how like I was so hurt by women that I considered my friends, that I considered, like my own little tribe and community, that I'm terrified in a lot of cases to make new friends, because I just don't know like what to expect. And there's also a part of me that's like, am I likable even? Like, I think when you are betrayed or treated in such a violent manner, like emotionally violent manner, it can definitely make you question yourself. And like, if you're even a likable person, like, do I even have the things that can sustain like good friendships? And so when I decided to go back to church, I had an old friend reach out to me. And now, caveat, before all of this, I was really just kind of like in a honeymoon phase anyway with my husband, and we were just enjoying our time being newly married and being happy and being newlyweds. And so we really weren't like reaching out and like trying to make friends. But like, we live in a really cool neighborhood, and there's a lot of young people. Like, I mean, I guess we're not young anymore, but like, I feel like we're young people our age out there in the neighborhood. And we would try to make friends with them, but it was like, it just never hit. And I could never understand why. Like, we would ask each other all the time, like, why can we just not seem to make friends? Like, we're both really personable people. We've both had a lot of friends our entire life. So like, we were just like, what is even happening that we can't make friends? Then we decided, after the fated trip to Hawaii, which if you haven't watched my going back to church videos, you need to make sure you watch those, because that'll give you like the full rundown on why we decided to go back to church. But when we decided to go back to church, it was like everyone in our ward, which is like a congregation of people, they were so cool and just like nice. And I went last week to church, and I sat next to this really cool chick who was just super nice and fun and down to earth and chill. And like, I just relate so much with Mormon women. And I did make that clear in one of my last videos that like I just get along with Mormon women. Like I've just always had Mormon women around me, and they're the like I relate with women, Latter-day Saint women, I should say, because I know I'm going to get hate in the comments for me saying Mormon. But anyway, I digress. So I had reconnected with an old friend that I knew decades ago, like when I was active and like temple going member, and we've known each other forever. I know her whole family. I know like everything pretty much about her. And she came over to my house and like just totally was so sweet. And then had mentioned like, hey, we should go walking together or whatever, which love that so much. And then she invited me to go out to dinner with her and her sister, who I've known her sister forever too. So I'm so excited. Like, I am so excited because at the end of the day, I love feminine energy. I love female friends. Like, I love women supporting women. I think it's so important. I think women need women in their lives. And even if they have a great relationship, especially if they have a great relationship, like they need other women in their lives to like keep them connected to their divine femininity and keep them connected to, the things that make them, feminine. And I'm excited to go out with these girls because I know both of them intimately, and I feel like there's been a lot of years since I've really been able to like touch base with them because we kind of fell out. And I'm excited to get to know them a little bit better, but, and like catch up with them and see like where their lives have taken them. But at the same time, I would be lying if I said I wasn't scared, because I am scared, after you've been hurt and after you've been like made to feel like there's something intensely wrong with you and people leave your life in the way that they do, it's really easy to get hung up on it. But as my husband keeps saying to me, and I keep trying to remember, and I love that he is such a cheerleader and he's literally like my best friend. So no matter what happens, I have him. And like, that is actually really encouraging because no matter what, he's my ride or die. And like, I'm never going to be alone because I have him, and he can give me like honest feedback of like, hey, like maybe you should have thought about this, or like maybe this is happening, and he's like a good sounding board. But he was saying that I just need to go and just be myself and just completely own up to like, my life the past 7 years and what it's looked like. And I say own up as if like I have something to be ashamed of. I don't think that, but it definitely is. I have taken a huge break from church, and so that's something that like I'm obviously talking about very openly here on this app, but like sitting across from somebody at dinner, it's a lot different when you're looking at them in the eye and you're like, oh, hi, this was my life the last 7 years. Like for some reason, it's a lot easier to talk to people through a phone that you don't even know who they are and don't really have any sort of like real life connection to them than it is in like real life. But I also know that these girls are super kind and they're really cool. And so I'm just really excited for the night. So wish me luck.